It's another K-Town beat.
YouTube, it's your boy, Mr. Outliner. Today, I'm going to show you how to cut the hair, the taper fade with the waves. And today's weapon of choice is the Wahl Icon clipper. Now, this is a powerful clipper, but it has a cord. It's okay, I like it. I'm not really a big fan of cords, but it has a lot of power. So if you need a clipper with a lot of power, this is it. Now, also, I started the haircut from the back because sometimes when you're doing the waves, right, the wave pattern, it's light around the crown area, as you can see, but I feel like from this angle, as far as demonstrating to you all, you can see the flow of the hair pattern, the flow of the waves, how it's going, how I'm cutting it. So I'm using the one guard on here, and once you get everything down to the desired length, then you can get ready to start your taper. Now I got something different for you this time. On this time we're gonna do the taper a little different, and the difference is we're gonna start with the C cup lineup, right? We're gonna start with the C cup because the C cup is gonna show you how high you can go with the taper. You can keep it dark around the edges, right? Because you can see you make a definitive line, so you want to fade inside of that, right? This is just an extra way for you to be able to taper, or to taper the haircut and stay within the guidelines and still get that look. You can see the look starting to come together easier than when you taper first and then try to do the line, right? So we create the C cup, right? You can see it. So now we kind of see it don't have to be like super sharp, but you want to be able to see it, right? So when you get ready to start the taper, you just fade within that guideline. Now this is what I'm talking about. So now you take your clipper and you see that where the cup is. So now I just want to go up and start making my first guideline inside of that C cup. You see that? Right? This is going to give you a nice taper at the end. Once you take your time with it, it's going to give you a nice taper. Now, after you make your first guideline, you come back with your trimmers and you get it bald, right? Because we want the taper to be bald right here. It's not a light taper or anything like that. It's a bald taper, but you can still see the C cup. It's not a high taper, it's a bald taper, right? So after that, you come back with your one guard, right? You come back with your one guard close, and really you're just attacking that first guideline that you did. You're not really trying to go up much higher than the guideline where you made it at. You just want to fade that bottom guideline out and fade into the hair that's thicker above it, right? So by using the one guard and using the corner of the blade, it's gonna give you a feathering technique, right? The feathering technique is helping you blend without creating lines, right? Feathering is blending without creating lines. So the corner of the blade is going to help you out a lot, right? And it's going to take a little time, but once you master it, it goes very quick, right? And you have to stretch the skin a little bit. So I'm staying on the bottom line and I'm cleaning it up, right? I'm knocking the hair down, making sure any bulk I don't like, I remove it as much as possible with the one guard that I have attached, right? And corner of the blade, you might go open or close to start knocking that down. Now, sometimes when you have a wave pattern such as he does, the waves come all the way down, like right here where I'm brushing, the waves are even down here, right? They not as prominent as up top, but it's still waves there. So you kind of want to keep that intact too, which is a tricky thing to do, right? So after we remove the one guard, we come back with no guard at all, open the close. We still cleaning up that bottom line that we made with this clipper, right? So you see me stretching the skin with my thumb at the top. Now look at that taper, it's coming along great, right? That's why I said that when you started with the C cup, now you can see everything, right? You can see how high it's supposed to go, what a taper gonna sit, how it's gonna look after you. If the line was there already, you know what I'm saying. So it helps, if especially if you're a beginner, it helps. It'll help a veteran also. Like I don't mind using it. It's not a big deal to me. I'm gonna use whatever works, right? I'm a firm believer in using whatever works for you. You know what I mean? So anyway, you also want to incorporate the clip over comb because, like I tell you in all videos, sometimes the clipper with the guard on or no guard just doesn't do it all the time. So you need like to create different levels to get the hair off. And clip over comb gives you the advantage of creating those things, right? So stretch the hair, still clean up the bottom line, still try to remove any bulk. But the taper is coming along good. Now the only thing I'm looking at now is like it's a little thick right in a certain area, like where the waves have formed, right? So you want to go in and you want to attack that. And right here behind the ear is where you want to use a bigger guard. Now, when somebody has waves, and sometimes when you're doing a taper, it's a little thick behind the ear. So my trick to helping that blend is because the hair is like, you might have indentions right behind the ear and things like that. So you kind of want to use a bigger guard. You don't want to come with the same one guard we used on the side, right? Because you want to see how the hair is going to react to coming off in that area, because it can be very thin, but you want everything to look full. So you use a bigger guard in those areas just so you can see how the hair will come off, right? And like I was telling you, so the waves, since they come down a lot, so I like for everything to flow. See where I just pointed at? To me, it's not flowing exactly how I want it to flow. So I'll come back, use my one guard, and continue feathering any area that I think is too bulky. So feathering is gonna loosen the bulk, lighten the bulk, right? That's what we're doing. We lightening the bulk until I get a consistent flow that I like. Now, take into account, like I said, it's waves down here, so it might not be super perfect like if the hair was just flat and going in the same direction, but I want it to look as good as I want it to look, right? And to me, this looks good. You see how the taper is coming out. Now we turn them around, we do the exact same thing on the other side. You can start with the C cup lineup. You can see everything that you're doing, right? I'll speed it up. I just want you to watch what I'm doing. The same thing that we did to the other side, we're gonna do to this side.
It's another K-Town beat.
Now, once you finish that side, you come back. You got the Mr. Outliner Detail and Mist. You use that. You spray the hairline, right? That's what we're doing. Brush it down, right? Now, as you can see, this client, for some reason, he kept his head down instead of up. So I had to keep adjusting his head. So one thing about doing a lineup and stuff, you want to keep his head up. So I'm trying to show you without being in front of the camera. So you see his hairline is different on one side. So I started from whichever side I felt like was the highest and tried to come over, right? So you see he's thin in the corners. So what I didn't want to do is go like deep off into the corners. It's still gonna be light in the corner, like right there. But you know, you can try to make it as sharp as possible to get the look that you're going for. So the thing about doing a lineup is you want to stand directly in front of them. You want to start at the highest point, or you want to start from the middle, right? Those are your keys to doing a good lineup. So start from the middle or the high point. Also, make sure you stand in front of them, right? So that's what we're doing. So that, and you just take your time with it, because the lineup is a very important part of the haircut. We already know this, right? This is like, I want to say like 70% of the haircut. The rest of it, the blending and all that, it might not be perfect, but if that lineup good, you about to get paid, right? So that's why I focus so much on the lineup. And if you can also do a lineup without pushing the hairline back, making it look as natural as possible, you know, before using enhancements or not using enhancements, like this is strictly no enhancements right here, even though he can stand to use some, right? So here I'm showing you is light. I'm not going up into the corner, but I made it look sharp anyway. So that's the thing that you want to focus on. You want to try to make it look short. You want to come stand in front like I'm doing right now. That's why my head is in the way of the camera. So I want to see, and I you know, I'm ducking down because I'm trying to let you see exactly what I'm doing here. But yeah, you want to take your time with the lineup. Try to get it as sharp as possible without any pushbacks, right? So you see what I'm doing right here. I'm cutting it slowly. I'm getting it right, and I'm pulling away like towards his nose when I actually do the sidebar. Because if you push back going towards the ear, then it's going to be pushed back going towards the ear. Simple, right? But sometimes people don't make it that simple. So that's what we got. So you see the line right here. It's everything is natural right here, but I am gonna put hair fiber on it in order to make it look better, right? More full. If you see right in the front, like lined up with his nose, it's very dark right there, and the other side is not. So you want to just get it together like that. For the most part, the lineup, this is a natural lineup. This is hairline. I could probably bring it up a little bit on one side. I don't really want to compromise it too much, right? So, and I know once I put the hair fiber on, it's gonna look a little different anyway, that I have to come back and use my trimmer to do it, right? So I don't have to get it all the way straight, especially if you're gonna use hair fiber the first time. Now, if you're not gonna use hair fiber, you gotta do what you gotta do. But if you're gonna use hair fiber, just know that you gotta come back and go over the line after you use the hair fiber.
It's another K-Town beat.
Now, this is the lineup that you got with enhancements. This is how it looks after you done putting the enhancements on. So it came out pretty good. This is what we wanted. We wanted a fuller look in the front, inside the corners. After that, you use the trimmer. You knock whatever wild hairs that's loose at the top, right? You want to, this is like detailing just so you can make the waves pop out a little bit more. This is just another part of, you know, the detailing process, right? Then after that, you can come back. You got your MR.OUTLINER 360 wave pomade right here, molding paste. That's what I call it, molding paste. You want to get a little bit of that, put it in your palm, rub it together, heat it up. By putting it in your palm, you're heating it up, right? You're getting, activating all the everything in it, you know what I mean? So we start and we put it in, voila, bam. You see how the waves just pop with this molding paste is popping, right? But the good thing about this molding paste, seriously, is that it's not too thick, smells really good, and it's gonna keep your hair moisturized, and it's not gonna cause you dandruff. Some of these wave pomades, greases, they dry your hair out, or it cakes up and it stays on your scalp, and then it's not, you know, it doesn't moisturize it, and then it causes dandruff. So you want to be careful with that. And the reason why I chose to make this product is because I know exactly what this product does. Now, this is the haircut, this is the taper, fade, this is how to cut it, right? This is the front, this is the back. I didn't show me cutting the back because the video started to get a little lengthy, so I didn't show that part of it, but you can see the taper from the back. It came out just like the side, right? But anyway, that's the video. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. You know how we do it. Until next time, love, peace, and hair grease.